Well, all of the flagship smartphones just keep pouring in, and today I got quite a few, but this is the one you are all probably waiting to see. Hey, it's Josh Vigard from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to unbox and give my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And voila, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 in all of its glory. We have the black edition right here, but as I take out the phone, it already feels pretty premium. I mean, obviously we have the metal all around, the brand new metal that Samsung has finally adopted for their particular phones, and here we are. So we're gonna put that aside for a second and take a look at what is inside the box. Taking a look inside, this is a European edition, like we said already. And with that, we have European language. This looks like this is German for the manual. Here's our micro USB charging cord, the battery, some headphones, which look like they are of a pretty good construction. These are actual in-ear earbuds, IEMs, it looks like it. And yeah, they're better than your standard ones. So we're gonna put that right above here. The charger, the adapter rather, for the micro USB charging cable. And then of course some extra pins for the actual Note stylus, the S Pen. And finally some extra buds in case you need them for these headphones. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the unboxing. This is what you have inside of the box, but of course what we're all here to see is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. There is the backing, this faux leather backing, originally introduced in the Galaxy Note 3, but this time we don't have the stitching on the sides. It just feels like a nice premium phone already. Not going away from the glossy plastic certainly is something that everyone is going to like, but of course we have this metal over on the sides in the frame. That's awesome. It already feels pretty nice even without the battery in there, so it feels pretty light, but here is the peeling of the front. And there you have it. Get the battery back on, get the back cover back on there as well. Let's power it back on and see what happens. Hasn't really detected it, or rather gotten it set up with that just yet. There you go. It looks like everything is working just fine. I have the 4G going already. This is my T-Mobile SIM that I have on there. So, like I pretty much expected already, it doesn't look like we're going to have any issues when it comes to the type of SIM that we put in there, at least with this version that I'm going to be reviewing. And with that, we have completed our setup. I'm actually quite happy that the SIM card didn't pose an issue. I'm obviously using an American T-Mobile card, and it said European SIM card only, but it did not give me any problems. If I go over to the internet right now and just head over to Google right now, actually, we have it right there, Google. Looks like it goes through just fine and it works perfectly. As far as my initial impressions on here, we are looking at the operating system right now. This is TouchWiz, as updated as it has been. Obviously, this is the newest version of TouchWiz we're working with the newest Galaxy Note device. It does look pretty nice. Things seem to be a little bit more easy on the eyes than they were before, especially for those of you who may not have liked TouchWiz in the past. But we're going to see just what happens when we take out that S Pen and play around with some of the new features that have been introduced in here. There have been quite a few, and you're going to see some videos on those, and they will all be scrutinized in the full review. As far as the aesthetic goes, this is definitely, in my opinion, what the Note line should have looked like in the first place, or rather, this is basically Samsung proving that they have design down when it comes to their flagship device right here, and they have it down pat with the great faux leather on the back that gives it a nice grip, but also a very executive look. And then of course this metal frame that goes all the way around. It already feels really nice. You may have seen it already in the Samsung Galaxy Alpha, but it returns here in the Galaxy Note 4, and this is the one that everyone is likely going to be clamoring for. We do also have, as you can see up there, the heart rate monitor that was originally introduced in the Samsung Galaxy S5, but of course it now has some extra functions like performing as a shutter button for you to use when taking selfies. All right, now I will address this particular issue with the Samsung Galaxy S4, but I don't think it's really even an issue at all. Everyone's been really blowing it up. Gap gate, that's pretty much what they're talking about. That there's a little gap from the screen. Now we have the 2.5D glass that's here, so it does have a bit of a subtle curve to it, but apparently there's a gap right in between right here. And everyone's been shoving little pieces of paper in it, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I will show you if that is actually the case. It actually doesn't go very deep in, but nonetheless, there you go. I have a piece of paper stuck in there right now. Now, yes, there's a gap in there, and it already has been revealed that in the manual, not only for the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, but for the 2 iterations before it, that it has already said in the manual there is going to be this gap, and a lot of friction and wear and tear might cause it to expand a little bit, but it is a design an aspect on here that pretty much is something that they had to do for this particular device. Does it take away from the look of the actual device? No, not at all. You're gonna see a close-up right here that the gap itself is not even really that visible, if at all. And really, if it is a way to put that panel on there with the metal frame that goes all the way around it, then it makes complete sense to me. So honestly, if the gap on this gets any wider, or if I see something very glaring on there, of course I'm going to tell you guys about it. But as of right now, I can stick a piece of paper in there, but that's about it. It really doesn't detract from really the usage or even the look, most importantly, of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 at all. This is definitely one of the most anticipated phones of the year, and if I would argue so, I would say that this is definitely Samsung's flagship, even more so than the Galaxy S line. But I'll get into that in a couple of videos that are coming very soon as I explore the Galaxy Note 4, and also I return to the Galaxy S5 in order to see where it stands now that this Note 4 is in existence. So keep it tuned here, drop us some likes on our videos, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And once you're done with all of that, make sure you head on over to AndroidAuthority.com for even more coverage, because we are your source for all things Android.